Kesha Cakes. It seems you're asking about the origin of the devil gene in the Mishima bloodline, which is a part of the storyline of a popular video game series called Tekken.
Boom, boom. Okay. Ah! What? Oh, yeah, you're asking for it now, Frieza. Oh, never mind. I'm asking for it, apparently. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Yes. What's that? Ah!
Unborn children
no,
on
nice.
a guy's skull.
Oh, my God.
Alright, I totally missed that.
Here's Connor's
Oh,
worst
my
nightmare.
God. Let's go.
Oh, hey there, bro.
You scared the shit out of me.
Oh, man. You having a workout? Hey, can I cut in?
Holy. Holy. I was taking a sip of water and I almost spat it out everywhere.
Hello, adventurers. What can I do?
I don't like him. He's an elf, I don't like him.
Goodbye.
Your beer tastes better.
Yeah.
Your fear is terrible, and that's being polite about it.
What? I've never had any complaints about the beer before. Maybe your palate is not defined.
Well, I do live in the woods.
Your fear is terrible, and that's
Yeah.
being polite about it.
What?
Oh
I've
no.
never had any complaints about
Why
the beer
is
before.
this an option?
Your fear is terrible, and that's being polite about it.
What? What?
Hey everyone, happy Saturday. I'm back, and I'm back with my adorable little fiance here, Aubin, and we're going to be continuing Tyrion Cuthbert together. We've been having a lot of fun with this game, and it's fucking amazing music. In fact, how about I get that music playing again? Let's get... Yeah, listen to that. It's so nice. How about I get unmuted and we get talking, and we get back to the game. Hello, honey, thank you for joining me.
Hello.
Are you excited to be back with Tyrion Cuthbert?
Well, we have to fix all his problems, so no. But
Alright,
it will be in an amusing and entertaining way, so yes.
So Ray says that they weren't here for the last stream. So can you give a summary of what happened last time?
So we went to a university public library. We were hanging out, reading some books about our special Eye of Horus, which is an ability we have.
It's not magic, maybe.
It's not magic. It's not artificery. It's some weird third thing. And while there, we met some characters, one of them being the obvious antagonist of the game, but we don't know that yet. She can use King Crimson, and we've seen her clearly do this multiple times, but
Hey,
we
Mo-
don't know that.
Yeah, we were glitching in the Matrix.
And then there was a murder. A murder that took place in a room that only the victim was able to access.
Yes.
Locked room
Strange.
mystery.
And there
we
was a
know.
funny janitor.
Yes, we know that only the victim had access to the room because there was a large janitor whose size filled up this tiny hallway. So that if someone had to get to him, they would have to push past him. Only the victim pushed past him. So how did they get killed
Right?
by someone else in that room if no one else passed through that hallway?
They also shouted something when it happened too, like, "Be quiet."
Shut up!
They
Something
said
like
something
that.
along those lines, yeah.
And now we must defend someone who has been accused of this crime because that person is a necromancer. And don't fall for his lies. He's evil. Necromancy is evil.
I just want to heal people. That's why I know
he
how to
just
kill
wants
people.
Yes, exactly. He just wants to heal people. That's why he has the spell that just says you end someone's life.
And also you revive them as a corpse monster.
Hmm.
Typical standard healing things.
It's like how in medical school, if you want to learn medicine, first you have to learn poison.
So, yeah, you know how last time I was saying how I'm never sure how to say artificer, because I hear artificer and artificer.
Artificer.
See, that's what I thought, but I have heard people say artificer. And,
Artificery.
well, get this. So, you may have known that I've been watching a little show recently called Bucky O'Hare. And there's
Oh my
there's an entire planet of artificers in that. And you want to know how they say it? Artificers. And I was like, I was so shocked. I was like, I've never heard someone say it that way.
Let's play Bucky O'Hare for the Game Boy Advance.
There's no Bucky O'Hare for the Game Boy Advance. It's on the NES and arcade machines.
It's Bucky O'Hare stream.
Alright, well, I got the games ready. I'm ready to load them up.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, now
I'll
we
eat these
gotta
fries.
finish Tyrion Cuthbert. Bucky O'Hare will be for later. Alright, now that we've gotten all that out of the way, it's time for the trial. Just take deep breaths and relax.
I have literally never heard Bucky O'Hare mentioned so much in my entire life that I have in the past 3 days.
It keeps coming up. I can't help it.
The lore. The lore! Did you know
There's
that
so
there's
much
an
lore.
arcade game that you can play in Bucky O'Hare and it teaches you the backstory of the sexy cat lady? And wait, she had to kill that guy. And you're like, oh, it's Purple Man!
How did you know?
Purple Man is always involved.
Alright, honey. Celeste is back.
Hi, Tyrion!
Yeah! Celeste! Don't sing up on me like that!
Why are you so nervous? It's not as if this is your first time defending someone.
I can't help it! There's something about this building that just fills me with anxiety.
It's too bad Ruby couldn't make it. You know, your mum.
Oh. If only Bucky O'Hare was here.
I'd say that you should calm down for Walrus's sake, but...
For whose sake?
Walrus's.
Did you say wall faces?
Wallace.
Alright.
There are so many people here. I'm sad and scared.
I missed this voice.
We. And they're all staring
Hey,
at me. Their eyes are prying into me like a pack of flesh-eating maggots.
He's making references to maggots. This dude's evil.
Gross.
Don't worry, Wallace. Our investigation revealed a lot of weaknesses in the prosecution's case. We have a strong case for your acquittal.
Not as many weaknesses as in your spine, boy. Okay. See, you can be confident when you want to be.
It's strange. Something is calming about Wallace's anxiety. It's like he just absorbs the tension out of you and into himself. Oh my god, he has an ability! Court is now in session for the trial of Wallace Nightgrave.
It's the judge. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is also ready? Very well, let's begin the proceedings. Prosecutor Steelwind, could you please list the charges?
The defendant is a student at the Wyvern Guard Imperial Academy. I'm a little girl. Mr. Nightgrave is charged with first-degree murder, negligent misuse of the arcane arts, and illegal practice of advanced necromancy.
Necromancy? Do you mean to tell me that the defendant is a necromancer? Oh, I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. A necromancer in this day and age? How could the kingdom let this happen?
2025, he has to do better.
Your Honor, I would like to remind the court that they should view my client objectively.
No.
Of course. But one could easily see it from the list of charges. Necromancy plays a large role in the charges.
Indeed. The crime occurred within the academy this morning. The victim is Catherine Bellwether, a professor at the school. Although there were no witnesses, traces of necromancy were detected on the body. Furthermore, the autopsy report shows that the body has no physical wounds.
I see.
Necromancy is the only type of magic that can harm an individual without physically wounding them. And also poison. Additionally, the alchemist report shows no sign of poison or disease. So, it wasn't poison. Therefore, one can only conclude that a necromancer had committed the crime. As many of you know, necromancy is held under high scrutiny by the Crown. Aside from the defendant, no other students were permitted to learn advanced necrotic magic. As such, the defendant was the only mage in that building capable of committing the murder.
Is she someone holding a magnet next to her head? Why is she slowing down?
Now.
I see, that is certainly compelling evidence.
To properly present our case, the prosecution would like to call Commander Orem White to the stand.
Dude, it's him.
Commander White, please testify incorrectly to the court about the Inquisitor's findings. Yeah.
Witness testimony.
Started when the City Watch got a call from the Imperial Academy. Someone was attacked and the whole building was put on lockdown. We set up a perimeter around the area and waited for the lockdown system to deactivate. When we finally got into the building, the prosecutor personally inspected the body and detected traces of necromancy on it. There were no cuts or bruises on the body either. The entire body was clean. With those two pieces of evidence, we concluded that it could only be the necromancer kid that did it.
The Inquisition's testimony is just as you expected. You've already found and identified the holes in Steelwind's case. All you have to do is find that hole in the commander's testimony. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination.
Find the hole.
Alright, what are we thinking?
Can you find the hole? There's not really anything to present at this moment, so we gotta press.
Yeah, I think we gotta press something. Should we press maybe this one? When they,
We should press many.
Alright, we just want to press all of them? We can do
No,
that.
not from the beginning. Like from the third one onwards.
Alright. So yeah, tell me, why did the prosecutor inspect the body instead of the Inquisition?
Well, how I conducted the investigation is irrelevant to the proceedings. Or would you like to insinuate that I'm not as competent as Commander White?
You don't question her competency, but it's still a bizarre decision on her part. Well, the court admits that the prosecutor's...
Did you see the last investigation? No, it's not.
While the court admits that the prosecutor's actions are unorthodox, we see no reason to question the prosecutor's abilities.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Fine, whatever. Alright, what about this? How carefully was the body checked? Perhaps the prosecution missed something.
The coroner couldn't find even the smallest cut, bruise, or fracture on the body. Furthermore, the alchemist's report showed no signs of poison or disease. The coroner was actually astounded at how unscathed the body was. Actually said to me, I've never seen a corpse this clean slip through my morgue like a stick of butter.
That makes sense. If someone had used mend wounds on the body, it would have healed even the most minor of injuries. The question is, how do you prove that? Alright, what about this? The prosecution believes that my client used necrotic blight.
Yep. It's the only way that the crime scene makes any sense.
Necrotic blight? I'm afraid I've never heard of this spell before.
Necrotic Blight is a spell that drains the life force from its target. When used on a living human, it makes their bodily functions cease, instantly killing them. Bladder off.
I see. Horrible spell!
I don't know, that
should have
smells
never been allowed to learn
sweet.
something like that. What were they thinking? Ugh, I think that spell is not doing Wallace any favors.
We already investigated the crime scene. So we know that the Inquisition's theory contradicts one of the clues that we found. Oh.
Right, all you have to do is present that contradiction to the court.
Yeah, Tyrion, you had the evidence the whole time. Just
Right.
present it.
Is it this?
No. It's gonna have nothing to do with her. It's gonna have something to do with the scene or something. And
shows
illusion.
Oh, and illusion. Oh, should we present for here, where they said the detective traces necromancy?
No, because that's not really
actually,
wrong.
didn't you mean necromancy
No,
and
that's
illusion?
that's not really wrong.
What are you thinking then?
I think that one.
Oh wait, here we go. Yeah, it's this one. I think I think we need to present the bloodstain to the body.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because he says the body was clean, so bloodstain to the body.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Objection!
Commander White, it appears that you've neglected to mention one key detail of the crime scene.
Yeah, what's that?
During your testimony, you said that the entire body was clean. I will admit that there weren't any wounds on the body. However, the body was certainly not clean. At the scene of the crime, there was a large pool of blood located where the body was. This blood came from the victim's body, and it was definitely not clean like the commander testified.
Your buttery corpse was a bit more dirty than you thought it was.
I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, but I failed to see the significance of this. I'd like to remind the court of the prosecution's case against my client. They are accusing him of murdering the victim using necrotic blight, a spell which would not have physically wounded the victim. So why was there any blood at all? Oh my god, he's right. Oh, rabble.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. The fact still stands. There were no wounds on the body, nor were there any reports of poison or disease on the autopsy. There are clearly magical elements in this case. That's right, it's magic homicide.
But Catherine Bellwether was bleeding profusely at some point. How else would there be a bloodstain on the body? Do you have an explanation for that, Miss Steelwind?
No, I'll admit that the prosecution doesn't have an explanation for that one. Well, I do find the circumstances questionable. All other evidence clearly points to the defendant.
Which spell would leave a trace?
Leave a trace of necromancy. If the victim wasn't killed with necromancy, why was there a trace of it on the body?
I'm glad you asked. I'd like to present a spell that could have left a trace of necromancy on the body. Mend wounds. Mend wounds? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that a healing spell? That's correct, Your Honor. Spells from the School of Necromancy can control the forces of death and life. Mend wounds is in fact a necromancy spell. Really now? I wasn't aware of this.
Judge, it's 2025. You have to be doing better.
Now, I'd like the court to consider the following. What would happen if Bellwether was wounded and someone attempted to heal her using mend wounds? All of her wounds would disappear from her body. I see. Huh?
Do you honestly think that I'm incompetent, Mr. Cuthbert?
Yes.
Frankly, I'm a little insulted.
What?
The Inquisition is well aware of what happens when a mage attempts to save a victim using mend wounds. The healers that arrived at the scene already confirmed that the victim was long dead. None of them attempted to heal her.
Well, what if someone tried to heal her and didn't report it?
Please. None of the healers would have anything to gain by doing so. In fact, as a necromancer, the defendant could have easily carried out the described scenario. He could have cast mend wounds on the victim after murdering her to confound the investigation. Like a Riddler. Riddle me this.
At the end of the day, the burden of the proof is on you. If you just find out who healed the body, this case is yours.
Riddle me this.
And whoever this healer is, Valentina definitely knows her.
Riddle me this.
Your Honor, I'll admit that I don't have any evidence to support my theory. However, I do believe that we can bring it to light. There may have been 2 people that witnessed someone cast magic on the body.
There's 2 people. There's a second one.
Valentina and Valerie Yanis, the sisters who discovered the body.
What if there was a second one? This is nonsense. We've already questioned those 2 witnesses extensively. If they had witnessed something like that, it would have come up in their testimony. Oh, girl. This is your first Ace Attorney game, isn't it?
If that's true, then you have nothing to lose by hearing their testimonies.
Very well. Feel so confident. Let's hear the witness's testimony.
It seems the prosecution has no objections. However, if this line of questioning leads nowhere, I will see no reason to further prolong this trial.
And I will
Do you
kill you.
understand, Mr. Cuthbert?
I'll fucking kill you.
Of course, Your Honor.
I forgot who did this one.
I think I might have done both of them. Oh crap, it's that guy from before! Is he the necromancer's lawyer? She just got on the stand and she's already stressed out. This could work in your favor.
Wait, who's you? Why was that in second person?
No, whenever it's like that faded out, I think it's either the narrator or Tyrion. Because sometimes it sounds like a narrator, but I think it's Tyrion.
But
Do you want me to go back?
if it's Tyrion, then why? This could work in your favor. So who's he talking to?
I mean, he might just be thinking in the third person. Or like in the second person.
What a weirdo.
I'm telling you, that's why I think there's a narrator.
Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court.
My name?
Witness, there's no need to be so nervous. We merely want to hear about what you saw on the day of the murder.
Right. It's just that guy over there. He.
Give me your fucking name! I mean, you mean Mr. Cuthbert? Did this man harass you, witness?
Wait a minute. Yeah. He like super harassed me. How shameful! I would expect a
Man!
member of our justice system to behave more professionally.
Man hurt woman!
Dude, she's snickering at me. Oh, shut up. Anyways, please state your name and occupation for the court, Miss Yanis. Just calm down. He can't prove anything. My name is Valentina Yanis. I'm a member of the kitchen staff at the Wyvern Guard Imperial Academy.
As I recall, you were one of the witnesses who discovered the body. Apparently, the defense finds your involvement suspect.
Oh, she's nervous.
Rest assured, Mrs. Yanis. In this courtroom, you will be protected from Mr. Cuthbert's harassment.
Ugh.
Now, please testify to the court on what happened that day.
Yeah. Witness testimony. I was walking with my sister in the West Wing when we noticed something in a nearby classroom. We looked over to see what it was. That's when we saw Miss Bellwether bleeding on the ground. My sister tried her best to help her, but the professor had already lost a lot of blood. When my sister did that, I used an emergency communication device to call for help. But it was too late. By the time her bleeding stopped, she'd already lost too much blood.
If your theory is true, that means she just lied in her testimony. She's definitely holding something back.
She definitely saw more than she's letting on. You just need to prove that somehow. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. They saw Miss... Alright, let's look at our evidence. So they saw them bleeding, but... Should we present, the fact that there was no wounds on her? Alright, let's press. Did you notice anything else strange in the lecture hall? Well, there was that terrible smell. It was awful. I almost couldn't see because of how much I was tearing up. But other than that, I was mostly focused on the professor. Makes sense. It would be hard to notice anything else. Alright. She tried to help her. Miss Giannis, how exactly did your sister try to help Miss Bellwether? What? I slipped up! My sister used first aid to try to stop the bleeding. I see. Could you please add that detail to your testimony? Yeah, sure.
Oh, bandage isn't a profession anymore. First aid's not a profession anymore.
Now do we present the fact that there's no wounds on the body?
Yeah.
Alright. Objection! I caught your ass!
Witness! What is the meaning of this?
What? Why are you looking at me like that? Maybe I can elaborate, Miss Giannis. You weren't present in the gallery earlier, were you? No, I was waiting in the lobby. Lady Steelwind told me to wait there. Well, I suppose I should consider myself lucky. You see, Miss Giannis, one key element of the case is that the body didn't have any wounds on it. Yeah, so? So, please explain to the court, Miss Giannis. How did Valor apply first aid when there shouldn't have been any wounds on the body? What? Oh, no, I screwed up.
There is explanations for that,
but I saw the wound on her. What happened? There's clearly something amiss here.
Question. Can Tyrion just raise his hand and say, actually, I just read her fucking mind, and apparently there was a wound?
No, she said there was a wound. She said
no,
that
but
out loud.
but then she thought there really was a wound there. So Tyrion can raise his hand and say, Judge, my special mind reading says that,
Yeah, but he doesn't want to play his ace. But, dude, he's got to save that for, like, the final case.
He's got to save it for the final case. He's got to meet the, big bad alone, where there's no witnesses around, and say, hey, I have a special power and I know everything about you. What are you going to do about it, huh?
But I'm afraid I don't fully understand the implications of this. Are you accusing the witness of committing perjury, Mr. Cuthbert? When someone lies, they stay as close to the truth as possible while changing minute details. In her thoughts, Valentina said that she was sure that she saw a wound on Bellwether. She also mentioned that Valor was the one that tried to save the professor. If she didn't try to save Bellwether with first aid, she could have used magic instead. Her sister could be the mage that you're looking for.
Yep.
What?
Nothing.
You think it's Tyrion?
I thought that was
person?
established like last episode. Wait a minute. The sister is the mage? Yeah, we know.
The witness was lying, Your Honor, but not about everything. Valerianus did try to save the victim's life by addressing her wounds. But she didn't use first aid.
Oh!
She used magic!
She addressed the wounds, but she didn't dress the wounds.
Yeah! No! He found us out? Oh, magic! Another magic is... Oh my god.
Someone in the gallery being like, wait, first aid's not a profession anymore? I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, but your theory is completely flawed.
How so, Miss Steelwind?
Well, it's quite simple. We've already verified that neither of the sisters are mages. What?
What? Well, wait. How can you be so sure?
During the investigation, we had both the Yearness sisters attuned to a spell compendium.
Ah, here's where the twins come into play. The other twin did it twice.
Twin magic. It's standard procedure for the Inquisition when interviewing witnesses.
That means...
That's correct. Neither of the Yearness sisters could attune to a compendium.
That's right! The Inquisition checked us both! Neither of us are mages! Ooh, that was close.
See, this is what I mean. Judge, she's fucking being like, oh, my secret was nearly found.
Damn it! Were you wrong about Valerie being a mage then? No, that can't be right. No, he found us out. Her thought said he found us out. That means that you were on the right track. Valerie has to be the mage you're looking for. Celeste, is it possible for a mage to hold a spell compendium and avoid attuning to it?
No, it just needs to be on their person. When I was arrested, the Inquisition also made me attune to one of their spell compendiums. They were really careful to make sure that I did the attunement correctly. There's no way a mage could avoid attuning to a compendium with them watching you.
Right. Commander White may be negligent sometimes, but even he isn't that careless. Damn.
I see Orm White is already sliding down the Lestrade slide of competent to the most bumbling idiot you've ever seen.
I like how he's like the most serious looking character in the game and he's a bumbling fuck.
He's the Gumshoe.
Gumshoe looks like a bumbling fuck though.
I see. So you know exactly what he is when you look at him.
Yeah, exactly.
That guy, bumbling fuck. But when I really need him, he's gonna pull through. Now, if you're done...
looks like the leader of like a fucking mercenary patrol.
Now, if you're done, I do believe that you've exhausted all your options.
Wait, I'm still not done cross-examining this witness.
Nah, you're done. What could you possibly hope to glean from her testimony?
Alright, Sickle. Valentina should be stressed out enough to see more of her thoughts. You can't exactly say that you're planning to read her mind. There's one key element of her testimony that the court is overlooking. I have a right as an attorney to complete my cross-examination.
Your Honor, the defense is clearly trying to buy time.
I might be compelled to agree with you. However, I'll also admit that some elements of the witness's testimony are quite peculiar. I will allow the defense to perform one more cross-examination. Oh, that was close. But know that this is your last chance, Mr. Cuthbert. If you produce nothing substantial, I will pass my verdict. Of course, Your Honor. Alright, it's all or nothing. If you can't find anything by reading your mind, this whole case is finished.
Witness, please give your testimony once more.
Okay. Damn it. How long does he plan to keep me up here? Like I said, my sister and I saw Miss Bellwood bleeding on the ground. We rushed over to her. I was definitely surprised when I saw her like that. Now that you mention it, I don't know if I saw any wounds on her, but I definitely saw blood. Can't go back on that now, I just need to play dumb. My sister tried to save her, but she didn't use any magic. Oh, Valerie, you're too kind-hearted for your own good. Neither of us is a mage. Both of us held that book the knights gave us. I was caught off guard when they asked us. They almost found us out. The commander was watching us the whole time. He can confirm it. It's a good thing that we're twins, or else that trick wouldn't have worked.
Dude. They have pretty hard proof that Valerie isn't a mage.
Valerie is the mage we're looking for, I'm sure of it. I'm just not sure why they felt the need to lie to the Inquisition. And more importantly, how did they trick the Inquisition? Oh shit, wait, we can interpret. Do we just go to this one?
Yeah.
I'm interpreting.
I love that how that interpreter's like, I had this idea. Wait a minute. That idea only works if we're identical twins. Oh, shit. Well, hey, wait a minute!
Miss Giannis, your thoughts betray you. What? You found the thought.
So yeah, I said I wouldn't harass you the way I would, but we didn't say anything about reading your mind. Pulling your thoughts out of your little brain.
They must have done something, but what? It must have happened when Commander White was interrogating them.
Orm was the one who collected their statements.
Well, did he notice anything off about their behavior?
Well, what he said, they had a few quirks, but nothing too suspicious. Everyone talks like this in your flashback.
Quirks?
He told me they were running and spinning around him during questioning.
I was wondering when this is gonna. I was like, then we met them. I thought it was gonna be like, you know, Phoenix Wright when they have like the clown. Oh my
god, they distracted him like a fucking wrestling referee.
I was thinking though. I was thinking like, so when they first had the line, I was thinking it was gonna be like Phoenix Wright when they have like the clown characters and their animations, like them spinning in place. Oh, I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get the. I was not expecting to be this. Okay.
No, it's actually they had this whole routine to swap because they're the heel tag team. So they have this routine where they swap places when the ref's distracted.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. Perhaps they were still on edge after finding their co-worker murdered.
Running and spinning? So good. Her thoughts also said, it's a good thing that we're twins.
How did twins trick the Inquisition?
This means that their so-called trick wouldn't have worked if they weren't twins. Or,
They look the same!
But that's not a choice. Valentina... switched places with Valerie. I think that's right. Of course! They switched places! Valentina attuned to the first spell compendium, then she pretended to be Valerie to attune to the second one. Commander White couldn't tell the difference between them. And then we're gonna find out that actually that she attuned to the second one, and it's like, oh, they did a different order, oh my god! Miss Giannis, there's something I want to confirm. During the investigation, both you and Valerie attuned to a spell compendium. Am I correct? Yeah, that knight watched us do it. And how did he have you do this? Did you both attune to those compendiums at the same time? Or did you attune one after another? What? No, wait, does he know what we did?
I fail to see how that makes any difference, Mr. Cuthbert.
Yes, I agree. The spell compendiums would work regardless of what order they went in. You may not be aware of this, Your Honor, but Valentina and Valerianus are identical twins, which means that their physical appearances are nearly identical to each other. If Commander White didn't have them attune at the same time, what would stop the twins from switching places with each other?
Objection!
This is clearly nothing but baseless conjecture. Orm wouldn't fail at such a basic task. Oh boy.
Oh, Orm. Oh, Orm. Really, Prosecutor Steelwind? Do you find it hard to believe that Commander White would fail at a task like this? I mean,
how
really?
fucking stupid he is. Oh, now you think about it, he is fucking stupid.
Wait a minute. This is crazy. We didn't trick the Inquisition. My sister and I are not mages. Then prove it, Miss Giannis. Bring in your sister. We'll have you attuned to 2 spell compendiums at the same time. No, wait.
And remember, he's got no evidence of this. He just said, really?
Yeah.
You think Commander White didn't fuck this up?
And then everyone panicked.
And then Steelwind's like, actually.
Order in the court! It's clear that we won't get anywhere unless we test the defense's theory. Bailiff, escort Valerianus to the stand and bring 2 unattuned spell compendiums.
They've both had their hands on those compendiums for the last 10 minutes, and we've been watching them. We've just been staring at them hold these books. There's no way they can fake it in front of this many people.
Don't worry, it turns out they're also magicians.
There's no way they can't fake it in front of this. Okay, sorry, yep.
Alright, it's the moment of truth. You can only hope that your theory is correct.
No! Did he seriously?
What is it, Prosecutor Steelwind?
That was always my favorite parts in Ace Attorney, where you'd have like this flash. You'd have this fade to black and then it come back and it's like, okay, we've run the test. Edgeworth, what's the report? And Edgeworth is doing the fucking gurning face. That's, when it pans to that, fucking hilarious every time.
What do you see?
She's doing it! Nah, but Edgeworth's was like no pupils and it's like all darkened. It just pans over and he's doing that for no explanation. What I see is Commander White seeking new employment in the near future.
Ooh, someone's in trouble.
Hey, Gumshoe. Well, Gumshoe, so, as far as we know, was never fired on camera. He just hasn't turned up in the new games yet. So maybe he was eventually. Maybe he was shot in a shootout. Maybe, who knows.
That's the greatest crime of those. Like, I guess the Ace Attorney Investigations game is not doing as well as they wanted. That they're just like, well, I guess Gumshoe's gone now.
Wait, really? Oh,
Isn't because he became a part of the Ace Attorney series?
No.
Or the Ace Attorney
No,
Investigations
no. I don't.
Doesn't
think
he stop
so.
showing up after that?
He stopped showing up after that, but like, I don't think it's because those games are back as Gumshoe.
What? No, I'm saying that those games didn't sell well, and that's why we're not seeing Gumshoe in other games because he was not like he was now part of that franchise, and that franchise is gone.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not saying that it didn't do well because of Gumshoe.
But then they re-released Investigations and it did gangbusters. So.
Yeah, so maybe we'll get a third. We got to go back and finish that game. Anyways.
Well, Gumshoe's going to turn up in the main series. He's going to turn up in the Great Ace Attorney.
Oh my god.
It appears the defense was correct.
Gumshoe disappeared because he accidentally stumbled into a time machine.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's just regular Gumshoe back then.
Gumshoe has to solve time crimes, or else he'll never go back to his original time. Valentina Giannis isn't a mage, but Valerie Giannis is. What's more, Valerie Giannis's compendium contains the Mend Wound spell, which makes the defense's theory entirely plausible.
please, just allow me to explain.
We should allow you to explain what exactly. You're an unregistered mage. And you and your sister have made fools out of all of us with your perjury.
How would you know what it's like, Lady Steelwind?
What?
Did you think we didn't notice your name? You're not like us. You don't have to hide. Whatever. This whole situation has gotten out of hand. I didn't think hiding would cause so much trouble. And I won't let someone go to prison because of me. Even if he is a necromancer. Lady, you're a necromancer. Please, let me testify about what I saw. I'll tell you what really happened that day. Very well, but understand that there will be repercussions for your actions, witness. Yes, I know. Witness testimony. My sister and I were walking in the hallway from the kitchen to the foyer. Then I suddenly spotted the professor lying in a pool of blood in a nearby classroom. Valentina used a communication device to call for help while I tried to save her. I saw that she was bleeding, so I cast mend wounds on her to close her wounds. But it was too late. I closed the hole in her stomach, but she was already dead. There was a hole in her stomach? Your Honor, as you could clearly see from the witness's testimony, the trace of necromancy was left by the witness, not my client. What's more, it's clear that there was a physical wound on the body. I see. Well... His words trail off. He clearly doesn't want to pass a verdict when there's no clear culprit. But he has no choice. The case against Wallace is predicated on Bellwether being killed by necromancy. With Valerie's testimony, the prosecution doesn't have a shred of evidence implicating him. Oh, very well. The court sees no reason to prolong this trial. With these new developments, the court has no choice but to find Wallace Nightgrave not...
I believe the court is ignoring one key detail of the witness's testimony. Oh shit! She's cross-examining us!
And what would that be, Miss Steelwind?
Let's re-examine the witness's testimony. Oh my god, she's presenting on us! This is... Wow, it hurts on the other side.
Valentina used a communication device to call for help.
Yeah, I noticed this! Isn't that not supposed to be able to happen when there's a lockdown going on?
Yeah. I saw that she was bleeding, so I cast mend wounds on her to close her wounds. But it was too late. I closed the hole in her stomach, but she was already dead.
The communication device that Valentina Giannis used logs. Used logs the time of day during each use. You know what's funny? We live in this fantastic magical world, and yet we have mobile phones. And they work exactly like mobile phones. I can look at the times that calls were made on them. It's magic. It's no electricity though, this is magic. From this log, we know that Valentina used this device at 3:04 p.m. This was an hour after the time of death.
Where are you going with this?
Mr. Cuthbert, there was a witness who saw the victim before the body was found. Jan Hughes. He, along with another witness, spotted Bellwether walking in the hallways before the body was found.
Wait, what other witness spotted that?
I was cleaning the halls. Bellwether knocked over a vase. There were shards and dirt everywhere. It was probably 20-30 minutes before the twins found the body. 20-30 minutes before the body was found. Do you see the discrepancy, Mr. Cuthbert?
Wait, that can't be right. Bellwether died more than an hour before the body was found? So did Jan see her half an hour after her death?
I wonder, Mr. Cuthbert. How could one make a dead body move and walk around? I've got no idea.
No, you can't mean...
I've got no idea. There was more than one piece of evidence that pointed to a necromancer committed the crime. The defendant murdered the victim and used necromancy to animate her corpse.
I'm dead, created within the Imperial Academy?
Oh, that's so cool. I want to learn that.
How reprehensible!
I want to know it.
That's ridiculous! She had a hole in her stomach when the twins found her. Jackie Hughes would have noticed that.
Animate corpse stops the flow of blood, so she wouldn't attract blood anywhere. Defendant is also proficient with illusion magic. He could have easily used an illusion spell to hide the undead Bellwether's wounds.
But another party could have easily used illusion magic to disguise themselves as the victim.
If that were true, how did they move the body to the classroom?
Miss Steelman, if your theory is true, it would mean that the murder occurred elsewhere. Did the Inquisition happen to know where?
Regrettably, we do not.
The prosecution's case against my client is still faulty. You can't convict my client without more evidence. I agree with Mr. Cuthbert. With these new developments, the court sees it fit to suspend the trial for the time being. We'll give law enforcement time to investigate these unknowns. Court proceedings for this case will resume tomorrow morning. Court is adjourned.
Judge is like, my head is still swimming from these two people that look the same.
I've never seen something like this.
How do you know that you're talking to the right one? Hey, are you feeling okay?
The body is seen moving around after an hour after death. It clearly wasn't Bellwether, or at the very least, she wasn't alive when this happened. So what was it?
Tyrion?
There's illusion magic involved. There has to be. Which spell was it? Could it have been illusory disguise?
Tyrion?
Oh, what?
You've been quiet since the trial ended. You were making me worried.
Sorry. I was just thinking about what Steelman said.
You mean about her theory? It's a little creepy when you think about it. Do you really think that someone turned the professor into an undead?
I don't think so. The prosecution's case is hinged on one clear fact. That Wallace was the only high-level necromancer nearby. We have to assume that he's the only person capable of using that type of magic.
But then how was she walking about?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, given that Wallace didn't touch the body, so we can discount the use of high-level necromancy.
No matter what, someone used an illusion. Illusion. But aren't there spells that can create freestanding illusions, not just disguises?
I honestly don't know. We need to talk to someone who knows about that type of magic. Wait, didn't Eris say that she was studying illusion magic? She might be able to tell us if something like that is possible. Right?
Is that really a good idea?
What do you mean?
What if she's the one? She's the one who created the illusion. Surprise.
What? Detecting fear from her again. Celeste, are you scared of Eris?
What? No.
I saw it this morning too. You always get really scared when she's around.
Oh, I thought I was doing a better job of hiding it.
I thought the bit with Celeste and Eris was actually pretty well done, about how we can see that she's scared, but she seemed just completely normal to everyone else.
Sorry, it's not based on anything real, but for years I've been working as a mercenary. As you know, when you do that kind of work, you build up an instinct to sense danger. You kind of have to if you want to stay alive. I don't even know my real name. I've seen too much battle. Just call me Caleb Cross.
Sorry, I never knew.
Tyrion, I fought literal monsters like Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden and barely escaped with my life. But when I'm the heiress, none of those creatures come even close. I just get this feeling. It's like I'm in front of a predator that I could never hope to be. Every instinct I have tells me to run whenever she's close by.
Really? But she doesn't seem that dangerous.
I know. I think maybe I'm just anxious or something. I should know better than anyone not to judge people by their appearance. Sorry, forget I said anything. If you think we should talk to her, maybe we should do that.
I don't want to discount Celeste's instincts. She's always been reliable, and if Eris is making her scared, then that must mean something. But if Eris really is that dangerous, then that's all the more reason to talk to her. But aside from that, there was also something else that the prosecutor said.
Mr. Cuthbert, there was a witness who saw the victim before the body was found. Jan Hughes. He, along with another witness, spotted Bellwether walking in the hallways before the body was found.
Who the fuck is this other witness? She said, along with another witness. That means that there was another witness that saw Bellwether walking around.
Right. Jan probably isn't the most reliable witness. He's a sack of crap. So talking to that other person might help us figure out what happened. But do you think Steelwind will tell us who that witness was?
At this point, we won't lose anything by trying. In any case, it looks like you have your work cut out for you. So where should you start first? What do you think? Well, I think we should say...
I think we should taunt...
Dead.
I think we should taunt Wallace more. Tyrion, what are we doing here?
I'm not sure. For some reason, you felt drawn to this place.
Wait, is that Eris?
Celeste points further into the cemetery. There, you see Eris standing in front of a gravestone. She's placing flowers on it and appears to be chanting a short prayer.
Well, we found her.
We should probably talk to her later. It would be rude to disturb her now. As you're about to leave, Eris suddenly turns to face you. She's far away, but you can see her beckoning you over. I don't remember who did Eris. Oh, I think I did.
Yeah, you did, Eris.
Oh, hello there. Were you two looking for me? Sorry, we were looking for you, but we understand if you'd rather talk later. No, I was just finishing up here. Did you have something you wanted to talk to me about? Well, we wanted to ask you some questions about the case. Oh? Wow, we could look at all these graves. It's a grave for an individual that you don't know. It'd be best to leave it undisturbed.
I don't know this guy.
Wait, hold on, I might know this guy.
You might know that guy.
It's the grave that Eris was at earlier.
You know that guy?
The name on the stone says Emily Grant, and her lifetime appears to be awfully short. She must have only been 12 years old when she died. Oh. Detect magic! Okay.
No, lifeless.
That was my first time watching a court trial. You were truly remarkable. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Were you in the gallery? I've always enjoyed watching physical battles in the theater. But I see now that battles of wits can be just as entertaining to watch. Entertaining?
Yeah, I know what you mean. You see, the odds are stacked against him. But then he suddenly pulls out this crazy deduction and steers the trial in his favor.
I've never really thought of it like that. But I'm I'm sure it's far more entertaining to be the one making the deductions. I'm not really sure what you mean. I practice law so that I can help those prosecuted by the justice system. I don't really do it to entertain myself. But is that really true? Don't you find the experience even the least bit entertaining, Tyrion? I wouldn't really put it that way.
Isn't it fun to make people fight?
You're far too modest. You save people from the clutches of death. To your clients, you might as well be a knight in shining armor. Earlier you said that you were studying illusion magic. I am. Did you want to ask me about the prosecution's theory? Yes, actually. How did you know? It was easy to guess after seeing you in the courthouse. Anyways, disguising an undead with an illusion is definitely possible. And as Lady Steelwind said, illusory disguise would be the best spell to use for that. What if someone created a freestanding illusion? A freestanding illusion? Yeah, we know that Wallace didn't animate the disguise and disguise the professor's corpse. So, what if the illusion wasn't disguising anything? Maybe someone created a freestanding illusion of Bellwether walking around. For something like that, one would probably use major illusion.
Major illusion. It's an illusion. The incantation Mill Us O. Gesture none. Duration until dispelled. Concentration yes. Creates a three-dimensional illusion. The illusion can take the form of an object or creature that can be contained in a 10-foot cube. While concentrating, the caster can animate and move the image to a different location within range. The illusion is purely visual and can't be physically touched.
So we know it isn't that because the thing that we thought might be an illusion bumped into a vase.
Unless there was something physical there as well.
Yeah, it's because that's why I'm saying it's not a major illusion. It's just going to be... What I'm thinking is they animated one of those suits. They put an illusion over one of those suits. It walked down the hall, disguised as Bellwether, and then it stabbed the lady in her room that she was already in. And that's why it only said be quiet when it bumped into that vase. That's my game theory.
What is it?
I don't think major illusion is what we're looking for. Do you remember what John said?
I was cleaning a mess in the hallway. I was cleaning a mess in the hallways. But when I knocked over a vase, and there was shards and dirt everywhere, and the shards of the dirt got into my skin.
And then she was like, "It's turbo time!" If the bellwether that if the bellwether that Jane saw was a major illusion, then she couldn't have knocked over that vase. Illusions created by that spell don't have any mass. I see. How perceptive of you.
Are there any other illusion spells that do have mass?
No,
I
so
need
that's
mass.
the point of illusions!
I want big mass. I want to live mass.
Illusions can only recreate visual and auditory sensations. But there isn't a single illusion spell that someone can touch.
That means that someone disguised something to make you look like Bellwether. Surprise, shock, fear?
Why the look of suspicion, Celeste?
Suspicion. Sorry, I wasn't.
Calm down. I'm only joking. I don't blame you for considering every possibility. In fact, I'm flattered you think I'm capable of pulling off such an elaborate ruse.
Surprise, shock, fear.
Anyways, this does tell us one important thing. What's that? The bellwether that Jan saw had a physical mass to it. It wasn't a freestanding illusion. It was someone or something disguised as Bellwether. 30 minutes. Oh, that's you,
Jan's
honey.
Statement. 30 minutes before the Yanis twins found the body, Bellwether walked past Jan in the West Wing hallway. He was in her path, So she shoved him out of her way. Get out of my way, you sack of crap! After that, she knocked over a vase and shattered it. Even though Jen didn't say anything to her, she yelled at him to be quiet! After this interaction, she walked into Lecture Hall 2B. The bellwether witnessed by Jan Hughes must have been disguised with an illusion. In addition to that, whoever he saw that day was physically there.
It's quite a shame, isn't it? Eris looks pensively at the gravestone. The name on the stone says Emily Grant, and her lifetime appears to be awfully short. She must have only been 12 years old when she died. Sorry for interrupting you. Was she someone you knew? Not personally. I'm actually here on Wallace's behalf.
Wallace knew her?
Wallace joined the Academy as part of a program run by Headmaster Redmond. At the time, the Headmaster was reaching out to mages among the common folk. He had started a program to admit these mages to the Academy without having to pay tuition. Both Emily and Wallace were among those mages.
Wow, that must have been an amazing opportunity for them.
The truth is, neither of them actually cared about learning magic. The real problem was that Emily had a terminal illness. She and Wallace were poor orphans, and they obviously didn't have the resources to treat it. But if they enrolled in the Academy would be obligated to give her medical treatment. The Imperial Academy teaches the best mages in the kingdom. They thought that curing her illness would be an easy task for the Academy's healers. But they were mistaken, I'm afraid. I'm sure you know this by now, but healing spells can only treat wounds. They can't cure illnesses. Emily's condition only got worse over years, and eventually she succumbed to her illness. Wallace was furious. He didn't understand why the kingdom was outlawing magic that could save lives. And that's why he decided to learn it himself. Yeah, right? No greater restoration? What the fuck? Yes, the Headmaster was inspired by Wallace's resolve. He gave him access to the Academy's forbidden tomes of necromancy. Well, I think I said this in another stream. It's like, I want to say, like, yeah, once the higher tier D&D character stuff, that's like one in a billion people ever see those powers. So I imagine, yeah, like almost no one has that outside of like 1 or 2 people on the planet. He gave him access to the Academy's forbidden tomes of necromancy, and Wallace taught himself the spells that he knows today.
So, that's why...
It was supposed to stay a secret between him and the Headmaster. But I'm sure you know how that turned out.
King Crimson!
Dude, she's whipping that King Crimson out constantly.
Way too constantly.
Alright, where are we going?
You gotta go to the foyer before you go to the library.
So true. Okay, she has new things to say. Do we have new things to... Oh my god, wait, we can examine these again?
No, it's gonna be the same things. Yeah, it's the same things.
Okay.
Artificery.
What if I did this?
Nothing. She's gonna tell you, here's what we do now.
Still a lot... Well, do you not want to do this?
No, I can do it. That's fine.
Still a lot we don't know.
Yeah. We know that Wallace didn't kill her, but the true killer really murdered her there?
Right. We'll need to go there to find out more. Should we...
Go to the library.
Just go to the library and not bother asking her that?
Yeah, we'll go to the library.
Because I want to get all the dialogue, but I also don't want to just have them tell me what to do. So it's like I'm trying to balance this.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Cuthbert.
Steelwind, what are you doing here?
After what happened at the trial yesterday, I decided it would be best to start my investigation here.
Right. Wallace was in the library for the entire morning. So it makes sense that she'd start her search here.
Actually, since I have you here, have you seen Eris Ilmater anywhere? Yeah, in the grave. In the graveyard. It's my understanding that you're both acquainted with each other.
Eris? What do you want with her?
Eris? Not for anything serious, mind you. It's just that oaf of a commander lost her spell compendium. Now we need her to produce another one for our records. If you see her, please let her know that we'd like to speak to her.
We saw her earlier in the cemetery nearby, but I have no idea where she is now.
Once again, I have to compensate for that idiot's mistakes.
Anyways, I was wondering if I could ask you some questions about the case?
Very well. I suppose I still need to honor our deal from earlier.
I'm still just looking at what she's wearing, and so, like, is this, like, partially see-through? Is that it? Because, like, that's gotta be a tattoo, right?
Which part?
Oh, I guess you can't see. On her left hand, her
It
left
can't be,
arm...
because then her skin is very burnt.
No, I don't think it's completely see-through. I think it's, like, it's
What?
a fishnet with also, like, kind of like a just incredibly thin fabric.
But it would have to be like a
thin-
red tinted fabric.
Yes, a red thin
Okay.
fabric. Yeah.
That
'cause,
would
like-
that would give like view of her cleavage, so it's possible.
Because it's like, that's got to be a tattoo, right? Because otherwise, why is that on that arm and not on that arm?
Fashion?
Stalking plus vision. Yes, okay, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Sickle. Stalking. Yes, okay.
Fashion?
Fashion? Alright.
Fashion
Look at
is
all these
fashion.
books! We already looked at this place. Detect
And
magic!
fashion is fashion. Let's read a book.
Any leads? Have you had any luck finding the scene of the crime?
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. You haven't found that yet. Fortunately, I haven't. From the witnesses' testimonies, we have a rough idea of the route Bellwether took. But none of the rooms we've checked have any sign of a struggle. Why are you so sure that a struggle happened? I'm mainly basing that off the Hyana sisters' testimonies. Valerie, in particular, noticed that the bleeding came from a wound in her stomach. Regrettably, the body's wounds were mended. Regrettably, she was healed from her injuries. So we can't determine what kind of weapon the murderer used.
Yeah, so now, who's this other witness? Who this? Who this? I never heard about this! During the trial, you mentioned that another witness saw Bellwether walking around yesterday. Would you be willing to tell us who that person is?
I'm sorry, but I can't tell you that.
Caught a little off guard. You've been pretty transparent with your investigation so far. What's changed?
I have no obligation to justify myself to you. My motives are mysterious and complex. Nor do I have any obligation to help the opposition. Such
do we have a
complex
deal?
motives.
Hiding information doesn't exactly seem fair to us.
Oh my god, and we have the ability to mind hack! I believe I've given you plenty of information already.
So you're saying is Tyrion Cuthbert becomes that dude with the glasses?
Yep, this is a zero escape game.
Oh my god.
So regardless of what I said before, the answer is still no. Her family is dangerous.
Yeah, of course, catches a stray thought from her. Her family's dangerous? What the fuck does that mean? Is there something about this witness's family that you're worried about?
Surprise? No,
No.
this could be a fight. I'm sorry, but you'll have to try harder than that if you want to bluff me.
She referred to the witness as her. Furthermore, she said that her family is dangerous. Why'd she go to such lengths to hide the witness's identity? In any case, it looks like she's not willing to share more at the moment. Maybe you should try looking somewhere else.
You think maybe Tyrion thinks of himself in the third person all the time so that people can't read his mind? Or well, at least when they do, they get incorrect information and they're misled.
Yeah, maybe.
So he's thinking, so they think it's someone else when he's thinking about himself.
Go to the locker room.
This is the locker room in the Magic Academy where all the sweaty jocks change clothes and go.
They go. Ugh! Ugh!
Bruh, is it gay if we push our dicks against each other?
Oh,
it's
God.
that, but they're also casting spells because it's magic.
Well, that's where you go to ponder your orbs.
Yeah, that's. Oh, whoa!
Check out my wand. Alright, you spend some time wandering through the academy when you overhear a conversation from a nearby room. From what I understand, Miss Steelwind has already moved the investigation elsewhere. How long must I wait before I can retrieve my things?
Sorry, old-timer. Orders are orders. Nothing comes in or out till this case is over and done with.
Commander White? And the headmaster too?
You're still employed?
Oh, hello, Mr. Cuthbert.
Hey, kid.
In any case, there are other matters I must attend to. Please inform me when I can reclaim my things.
Sure.
Looks like Commander White is standing guard in front of this locker room. It doesn't look like he's conducting any sort of investigation. Is he here on Steelwind's orders? He might be able to tell you who this secret witness is. Oh, we're gonna have to get into his mind and start fucking with him.
It should be easy to probe his feeble mind.
There are lockers in this room. It'd be impossible to search them all. I don't think that's true. You should speak with the commander before trying to search through them.
The locker that matters is usually slightly off color to all the other ones. It's a little bit more detail.
Tell me about the headmaster. And also, I'm gonna have a quick sippy.
Don't catch him
the head-
sipping.
What was the headmaster talking to you about?
Supposedly, he has some items stored in one of the faculty lockers. The problem is, Steelwind said no one gets in or out of this room. Except for her and you two, apparently. She won't even let the other knights in here.
Really? Is that normal?
Nope, but things really are when she's calling the shots.
Why would she give you access to the crime scene if she wasn't even letting the knights in?
Yeah, you're like the stupidest one. Steelwind's orders, with the exception of you and Celeste McCoy.
I think he was saying that to himself. Like, why would she let me in?
Oh, see? I was misled.
See, I think...
By his psyops. Steelwind's orders, with the exception of you and Celeste McCoy, Prosecutor Steelwind isn't allowing anyone inside key areas of the Academy. She isn't even allowing the Knights of the Inquisition within these areas. She appears to be conducting the investigation single-handedly. I don't know what her deal is, but she's been acting strange lately. She's been real paranoid, that girl. Frankly, I can't tell what's going through her head. Tyrion's like, I can. Nothing.
You mentioned that the prosecutor's been paranoid lately? Do you think it has something to do with this case?
Nah, it started way before that. Lately, she's been using the Inquisition to investigate a lot of non-magical homicides.
What? Wouldn't it be easier to work with the relevant law enforcement for that?
I don't know why, but she's convinced that these cases have magic involved. But we scanned each and every one of those crime scenes. Nothing turned up. I got to say, though, if it weren't for the scans, I might actually agree with her.
Ooh, mystery. Why do you say that?
Let's just say there's a weird conspiracy going on that will only be addressed in the last case of this game. I mean, those homicides, I haven't ever seen anything like them. They're probably some of the most screwed up cases I've ever handled. Real twisted shit. For one of those cases, we had ourselves a disgruntled spouse. She found out that her man was going around with a barkeep. And you know what the spouse does? She stalks the poor woman. She starts leaving threatening notes all around where she worked. Barkeep told the city watch all about what was happening. But no matter how much they stalked out the tavern, they could never catch the perp. And one day, the barkeep arrived home. But little did she know, the spouse was waiting there for her. And the poor lady never had a chance. And to tie the whole thing together, the spouse waits for her husband to get home. She cooks him a big roast, using the barkeep's remains. And that is the Orem White True Crime Podcast.
I thought it was gonna be like cooked him a roast and then it was like he was poisoned or like she stabbed him back. I wasn't expecting that bit. Damn. Alright, possible explanation?
Wow, that story is pretty unrelated. I know. Still wouldn't think someone's developed a new type of magic that can control people's minds. And these homicides were some kind of sick test run.
Magic that can control people's minds?
You wouldn't know anything about that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Are we being puppeted?
Oh my god.
Is there a puppet master dangling some strings into us?
Oh my god.
Is that why it's in second person?
Oh shit.
That would be crazy. But wouldn't Mage Blight make more sense?
Mage Blight?
When a mage overuses their magic, it can have pretty bad consequences on their mind. They temporarily lose grip of reality and begin seeing things that aren't there. When a mage becomes like that, it almost never ends well. They enter a frenzy and begin firing spells randomly, which only makes it worse. I'm cooking crazy! And they just start firing spells everywhere. I've seen my fair share of Mage Blight cases, and this isn't like that. Not all of the perps were mages, and the ones that were didn't even use their magic. One thing was that each of the perps almost seemed to wake up after we arrested them. All of them said things like, "It wasn't me," or "I didn't have a choice."
They didn't have a choice. What could that mean?
I doubt it means anything. Sometimes people can't face the things they've done, and as you know, I'm always right. It's easier to say that you had no control than to take responsibility. I'm always correct.
Alright, enough beating around the bush. Who's this fucking secret witness, or tell him. Tell me! You wonder if you can mislead the commander into revealing who the secret witness is.
Anyway, we're gonna trick you now.
So, during the trial, Miss Steele mentioned that someone other than Jan Hughes saw Bellwether walking around. Have you seen them around lately? We wanted to speak with them.
Ah! Nice try, kid.
Well, it was worth a shot.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you if I wanted to. I don't think anyone other than Steelwind knows who this witness is. I sure as hell don't.
What? She's even hiding it from the Inquisition commander. Why is she being so secretive? Looks like the commander doesn't know who the secret witness is either.
This isn't getting us anywhere.
Steven's behavior is strange, though. Perhaps you could try analyzing her behavior. If you do that, you might be able to find a way to convince her to help you. Okay, Steven's behavior has been strange this time around. She's hiding elements of the case even from the commander. Anyone could tell that she doesn't have much faith in him.
Standing right here.
But this is the first time I've seen her hide key case details from him.
What is motivating Steelwind to keep secrets?
There has to be a reason why she's being so secretive.
Secrets.
I'm thinking it's paranoia?
Yeah, because she is often scared.
Her actions must be driven by paranoia. She's been hoarding information about the case. There's only one reason why she wouldn't utilize the Inquisition like she usually does. It's because she doesn't trust them.
I had to say it, but that doesn't really surprise me. She's always been standoffish with us.
But there is one exception.
Who has Steelwind trusted for this case?
There are individuals who she's trusted more than the Inquisition during this case. Oh yeah, there we go. Tyrion and Celeste. She let us investigate the crime scene without any restrictions.
Yeah, I never really thought about that. Does she trust us that much?
I don't think personal trust is the reason.
Why does Steelwind trust us this time?
We don't usually interact with her. She's worked with the Inquisition on plenty of cases that we weren't even involved in.
Wallace is her son.
Wallace is her son?
You looking for that?
No, I was just... Wallace isn't a member of the nobility. Do you think that's it?
Well, Tyrion isn't a member of the nobility.
Oh, yeah. You think that's it?
Yes.
No! There's a key difference between us and the Inquisition. We don't answer to anyone, we aren't the subject of corruption, so why would that make Steele and trust us this time around?
Of the Inquisition.
Okay,
Tyrion isn't an employee of... the Inquisition or the nobility, or whatever. Isn't controlled by the nobility?
oh, there we go. Steele doesn't know much about us, but she does know that we aren't prone to noble corruption.
Yeah. Right, you indicted a noble during the last case.
Meanwhile, the Inquisition usually bends to the nobility's whims.
Well, ugh. Sleepy. Well, I can't argue with you there.
I like that. Orem keeps just like butting in to say something and we just keep ignoring him.
He's got nothing to... He's got nothing to listen to, only things to correct. What can you infer about the secret witness?
Using my insight, I could tell that she's
Your
worried
Hon-
about the witness's family.
Your Honor, I'd like to call all my secret witnesses again.
If she's worried about corruption from the nobility, that can mean only one thing. The witness is a noble. No, I think the witness is a murderer.
The witness is a noble.
Yeah. The witness has to belong to the noble family. That's why she's so wary of interference.
I've yawned both times my line came up. I'm very tired, I'm sorry. But we're obviously not going to do anything corrupt. Obviously. Why is she hiding the witness's identity from us?
Oh, you recall seeing a thought through the eye.
So regardless of what I said before, the answer is still no. The family is dangerous.
I think she's worried about our safety.
Yeah. Ugh. I'm so sorry. I'm falling asleep. I think someone shot a trank dart into me. I'm unconscious. Yeah, I guess harassing a noble could put you in danger. But
I'm the protege of the infamous Ruby Tamora.
yeah, it's not as if we aren't already on the nobility's bad side. I'm sure the Pierce family still has it out for us.
This can only mean that the family we're dealing with is even more powerful than House Pierce.
A family even more powerful. You don't understand. I had to do this. There was a family even more powerful.
If the prosecutor is wary of them, they could be even as powerful as the Steelwinds.
Oh my goodness. Why? Don't tell me. You think we're dealing with one of the 4 pillars? 4 pillars?
It's a name people use for the top 4 noble houses.
I was going to say, if this was a thing that was introduced and Tyrion was like, something that seems extremely important in the setting, what's that? But now he knows about it, okay.
These families stand at the top of the kingdom's aristocracy. If I recall correctly, the 4 pillars are House Freyga, House Von Sanctus, House Sybil, and House Steelwind.
It's Big Mama, Whitebeard, Blackbeard, and who was the 4th one?
I don't fucking remember.
Was
Shanks?
Shanks was part of the Whitebeard crew. I
Well,
think
he was, but then he split off.
Okay.
I don't remember. You've read way more One Piece than I have.
I really have not.
You have.
I've read like no One Piece. My One Piece knowledge comes exclusively from One Piece Pirates Carnival for the GameCube. and Arlong says, "Shirking off!"
Alright, read.
Steelwind is a part of one of them? Yeah. Which makes it so much weirder that she's serving as a prosecutor. The 4 pillar families. The 4 pillars refer to the 4 most powerful noble houses. These houses are House Steelwind, House Freyga, House Von Sanctus, and House Sybil.
What is it?
Steelwind's weird behavior all started after she investigated this room. We were at the crime scene and she left to follow a lead. But an hour later, she came back to the lecture hall and booted everyone out.
Her behavior changed after investigating this room? That means that she found something here.
And that something was pointing to a family from the 4 pillars!
Commander looks a bit anxious.
I'm anxious. You know, Steelwind's orders say I can't snoop around here. But you two, on the other hand.
Don't worry, just leave it to us.
I have some school records that say which locker belongs to which student. You can use it to tell whose locker you're looking at. Didn't we establish that there's nameplates on the lockers? Wasn't that established last episode when Wallace was talking about the epic prank where people would just swap names around on lockers?
Oh yeah, that was weird.
So we've established that there's names on the lockers. So why do we need school records to say whose locker it is?
I don't know.
Couldn't even write names on these little placards, huh? Huh, Dev?
Read the line.
Oh, there's an arcane construct in the back here.
It's probably here to aid the students. Anyways, I don't think it's relevant to our investigation.
Construct, get things out of my locker.
But perhaps you should make a small note of it anyways. It's not important though.
Construct in the locker room. There appears to be an inactive arcane construct in the academy locker room.
It's inactive?
Ow. Evan Nash.
You use the legend that the commander gave you. You look carefully across the list and find some notable student names. Well, they're... Alright, let's look at Wallace's.
Wow, he's a
Open
little
Wallace's
freak.
locker. Inside, you find... Oh my god, there's entrails and brains!
It's one of
Find a
those.
bottle-
It's one of those '90s toy science kits. You make the brains you can eat.
You find a bottle of fragrant liquid and something that looks like a makeup kit.
Oh, I didn't expect Wallace to use stuff like this.
Does seem strange, but it's not your place to judge.
It's not strange if he's, you know, a necromancer. He's got mortician stuff.
Yeah, he's gotta cover up all that corpse stink.
Yeah, he's got embalming liquid. He's got makeup to make him look good.
Anyways, you should try looking through the other lockers. Use the legend that the commander gave you. Let's look at Miriam Frege.
When I know it's an open casket, I always make the body look like a clown.
You open the locker with Miriam Frege's ID number. So I guess it has ID numbers across the top.
Okay.
Inside, you find a stack of worn-out textbooks and notebooks.
I'm still laughing because the guy looks at their locker and says, "That's not the number of my locker. What? Where'd my locker go?"
It's very weird. It's a very weird setup. Wait a minute. These notebooks all have Wallace's name on them. You open the notebook and look through its pages. It appears to be research on the art of necromancy. These are Wallace's notebooks.
But why are they in Miriam Frege's locker? Did Miriam steal his things?
What's going on here?
What's going on here?
You and Celeste check the locker more thoroughly.
Wait a minute. Tyrion, take a look at this.
That's blood!
Evidence in the locker. There's a stain of blood inside the locker with Miriam Frege's ID number.
Alright, so that's Wallace's locker, and Wallace's is Miriam Frege's, because
What?
they pranked him by swapping the IDs out.
What? I don't remember that.
You look carefully across the list. Alright, Jade and Von, and these other two are probably going to actually be right then, I'm assuming. Jade and Von Sanctus. Inside you find some
Jade-
bottles of some kind of transparent lotion.
Jiden von Sanctus.
There's nothing but lube in here.
That's a fucking villain name. Oh.
I wonder why a student would need this much lube. You take one of the bottles to inspect it more closely.
Wait, Tyrion, don't touch those with your hands!
It's some kind of sanitizing liquid.
Your hands will
little
get too
strange.
slippery and you'll never be able to hold things.
But it doesn't seem to be related to the case. It's the legend that the commander gave. Okay, a lot of sanitizing liquid. I don't know. I feel like that could be important, but I guess not.
Dude, COVID.
To Warren Sybil. You open the Warren Sybil's locker. Inside, you find some textbooks and a neatly stacked deck of tarot cards.
I have a question. If you take that deck of tarot cards and you, like, swap a few cards around, have you changed the future?
My sister was into tarot for a bit, and I remember she said something that, like, if someone else touches the deck of cards, that fucks with the energy, and you have to realign with it over, like, a week.
Huh?
So, yeah, I guess you would fuck it up.
Oh, it's like those cards that fortune tellers use.
I wonder if the student studies divination magic. But anyways, I don't think this is related to the case. Use the legend that the commander gave you.
Yeah, we
Look carefully.
looked at them.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay, but what card are you picking out of the tarot pack?
Ooh. I mean, I feel like the Fool. The Fool's a pretty good one.
You haven't used a tarot card before. It does nothing.
Oh, we're going by Belantra rules. I thought we were going by... Oh, fuck. Okay,
We
well,
found a few things.
Fuck. Okay. In that case, I take the Emperor. No, I take the wheel. I take the wheel!
Take the wheel. I can't really make sense of any of it.
We should look at this from the prosecutor's perspective. Steven found something in one of the lockers.
Whose locker had the most suspicious evidence?
I mean, it had to be Miriam Frega's, but which is actually Wallace's.
Yeah. No matter how we look at it, we found some insanely suspicious shit in Frega's locker. There are Wallace's notebooks and even some blood.
That blood is certainly strange.
But that blood, though.
It implies that something bloody was stored there.
That blood, though. Do you think someone stole it?
No, actually. I think it was Steelwind who took it.
Oh, right. Ira mentioned that she investigated this room. She must have taken the bloody item as evidence.
Oh, that said, there's something else that's strange about Miriam Frega's locker. It had a lot of Wallace's possessions. It's possible that she really did steal these items from him, but it's more likely that this locker isn't actually hers. Remember what Wallace told us before?
Sometimes the other students would steal the ID number off of my locker. Then they'd switch it with the number of another locker. They thought it was funny whenever the student who owned that locker got angry with me. What if his ID number is something like dumbass? Like, the other guy goes to the locker and it says, dumbass!
What the fuck?
So someone switched the nameplates?
This means that this isn't Miriam Frega's locker, it's Wallace's.
But that would mean that the bloody object came from Wallace's locker.
It appears so.
Stain of blood inside the locker with Miriam Frega's ID number. This locker actually belongs to Wallace Nightgrave. Someone must have switched the ID numbers with Miriam's locker. There's something about Miriam.
Why didn't Steelwind present the bloody item during the trial? I proved that Bellwether was wounded before Valerie healed her. Wouldn't that have been the perfect time to present what she found? It was a bloody item found in the defendant's locker, after all. She could have easily proved that the nameplates were switched too.
She didn't know. She didn't know that that's a prank they do. They didn't know that's the silly little prank they do. Only we know that. Right, that is weird.
There's something more to this that you aren't seeing, but what? I think we'll just have to ask Steelwind ourselves.
I'm still here.
She was in the library.
Oh, you're back.
You've uncovered a few things during our investigation. Miss Steelwind, are you acquainted with a student named Miriam Frega?
I underestimated him with my shock. I said it before, Mr. Cuthbert. I won't fall for such an obvious bluff.
It's not a bluff, Miss Steelwind, and I'll prove it using the evidence we've gathered. Ari Steelwind's psychological profile is complete.
Oh yeah, we've got you
it's time.
down pat.
Steelwind is paranoid, and for whatever reason, it's due to the involvement of Miriam Frega. If you could convince her to reveal why she's being so secretive, she might give you more information. Oh, it's time. Alright, psychological profile. Steelwind is extremely logical and won't accept arguments that aren't supported by evidence. However, she has become secretive lately, and her actions seem to stem from paranoia. She's uneasy about case elements that relate to Miriam Frega, and she's very inclined to hide Frega's involvement from the court at all costs. I think we should save. Which is... No. Is there no way to save? Oh, okay. She's uneasy about case elements that relate to Miriam Frega, and she's very inclined to hide Frega's involvement from the court at all costs. Even the Knights of the Inquisition have noticed. Please just tell me, why are you being so paranoid?
I'm not sure what you're trying to imply, Mr. Cuthbert. Nothing about my behaviour has changed. I approach this case objectively, just like I have with every other case. Oh yeah? What do you think about this?
Steelwind's orders.
Yeah, what about your own damn orders? And your own damn mouth?
You've ordered the damn knights to stay away from the crime scene. And you've even taken upon yourself to conduct the investigation yourself.
And you're eating
That
damn fruit.
That is not normal behavior for a prosecutor.
I took those. Actually, it is very normal in the other world. I took those actions because the Inquisition is incompetent. Can't argue there. How could I possibly trust them with anything?
The knights are incompetent, but even you can see the value of delegation.
Look, Gumshoe is a worthless sack of crap. I grant that, but
During Celeste's case, you still delegated tasks to the Inquisition, and you could have easily investigated the McCoy Tavern yourself. This academy is huge. You wouldn't conduct your investigation this way unless you had a good reason.
Why don't you enlighten me? Why would I act in such a way? What would cause me to behave so strangely? I don't know, maybe because of the way you look?
The 4 pillars?
Yeah, it's the four pillars, or it's something that explicitly says, "Ooh, she's scared of nobility."
Yeah. You know that the Inquisition is corrupt and will bend to the nobility. So what would happen if a powerful noble were publicly involved in the case? With that noble's influence, they'd probably order the Inquisition to conceal their involvement. A high-profile noble is involved in this case, Steelwind. And I believe that noble is Miriam Frege.
Again with this. Do you think you can bluff me by throwing out the names of random nobles? Not every noble is a malevolent criminal like Garrick Pierce. Some of them are very high-standing, beloved members of the community like Kanye West. I've said it before and I'll say it again. My investigation doesn't involve the Fregas. Nothing about this case has anything to do with House Frege.
Oh, then what about the evidence in this locker?
Then
Have you
explain the fucking name!
The commander told us that you were following a lead in the locker room yesterday. We investigated the lockers of students from the 4 pillar families. We found stains of blood in the locker with Miriam Frege's ID number, and it was presumably left by a bloody object. The bloody object was taken by someone, and we heard that you became extremely paranoid after you found something in the locker room. If I had to guess, I'd say that you took the bloody object as evidence.
And what evidence do you have to support these outrageous claims?
What?
The only thing you have is evidence of a blood stain. There is a myriad of explanations for that. Everything else you mentioned is pure speculation. Can't prove that piece of evidence exists. Could have found any number of things in that room, or possibly nothing at all. He likes Ah, yes. Let's let's threaten her.
I forget, does he say this, or do I... If you don't present what you found to the court, I'll have no choice but to pull the owner of that locker onto the stand. You found an object in the locker with Miriam Frege's nameplate on it. If you don't... Okay, there.
That's ridiculous. We both know that the locker in question belongs to Wallace Nightgrave.
Oh, fuck! She actually knows! Hey, Crunch!
Okay.
Can you unequivocally prove that, Miss Steelwind? Because the way I see it, there's a lot of room for doubt there. Enough doubt for me to pull Miss Frege onto the witness stand. But if I had more context, maybe I wouldn't have to resort to that.
I was taken out of context.
Argument 1! Destroyed!
Well played, Mr. Cuthbert. I can tell that you can play chess. I suppose I don't have a choice, do I?
You've successfully persuaded Arya Steelwind.
The truth.
But before you get to the truth, I need to refill my water. I'll be right back.
The truth. The truth. This is it. We're finally going to learn the truth. This is it. It's all come down to this. This moment right now. Finally, the real story behind it all. This is it. The truth will be revealed. The time is now. And it's about to happen. Live. It all comes down to this.
What I miss?
The truth.
The truth.
Just so we're clear, I wasn't acting to protect the nobility. But I'll admit that Miriam Frager was the other witness that saw Bellwether that day.
I see. I had some suspicions, but...
There's also another matter.
Steelman looks uneasy.
When I was investigating the body, I found this. Evidence of academic dishonesty! A tightly packed folder containing several documents. The documents contain evidence detailing multiple instances of plagiarism, fraud, bribery of school officials, and various other offenses committed by Miriam Frager. That's kinda... That's the truth. That's the truth in this manila folder.
What the fuck?
It looks like Miriam's been cheating at school. That's kinda out of nowhere, huh?
But why would Bellwether have something like this?
From the way it's arranged, I think it might have been blackmail. Miriam Frager is considered a prodigy in the practice of conjuration magic. Wow, she can make things, you say. She's won a litany of awards, and she will most definitely graduate with honors. If these secret files were to be released to the public... 47. If these files were to reach the public, it would absolutely ruin the reputation of this little magic girl. Perhaps you should see to it that they are brought to light. Do you think that the professor was trying to threaten her? It appears so. When I discovered this, several elements of the case were still unknown. I decided to look through her belongings, and I mistakenly looked through the locker with her ID. I found this in that locker.
Oh, she doesn't have that, like, tattoo marking anymore. I just noticed that. What the fuck?
What?
On her left arm, it's not there anymore.
What does that mean? What does it mean? Anyway, bloody rapier. A rapier covered in blood. It was found in Wallace Nightgrave's locker. Apparently, it's a valuable family heirloom to House Frager. It was reported stolen by Miriam Frager weeks before the murder.
Oh. I see. This is...
It's very likely that this is the murder weapon. This rapier is a valuable family heirloom for House Frager. Everyone in this world has heirlooms of murder weapons. And a few weeks ago, Miriam reported that the rapier was stolen from her room. And then it was found in Wallace's locker. Not that
Not that I'm complaining, but why did you present this to court?
To be honest, I'd like to avoid involving House Frege by any means necessary. I knew it! You're just protecting her, aren't you? Miss McCoy, do you recall how Wivengard's justice system works? To acquit a defendant, you need to unequivocally prove they didn't commit the crime. To do that, they either need a solid alibi, or
we need to prove that someone else committed the crime.
What do you suppose will happen if we bring Miriam Frege onto the stand? House Frege won't allow one of its members to be indicted in a court of law. They'll plan and forge evidence to implicate your defendant. And they'll use the Inquisition to do so.
So that's why you've been keeping them away from the investigation.
Can't you do anything, you worthless sack of crap? The Steelwinds are powerful too, aren't they?
I don't have the support of my house.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, sorry, shit. I'm so focused. I'm sorry. No, fuck. I ruined it. It's all ruined. All right, we gotta start the whole
thing over again. Right now, I have the support of my Fire Emblems 3 house. Right now, I'm just a prosecutor, nothing more. I saw some Fire Emblem discourse yesterday, and holy shit, I'm so glad I'm not a part of that fandom. Steelwind, you know that this isn't fair for us. Just do nothing. Do nothing and let us win.
Celeste?
If we can't go after Miriam, then you can at least help us save Wallace. I'm not going to do that. The tattoo's back. Why? What if Miriam Frege is the real killer? The tattoo was back.
Oh, was it? Oh, shit.
Her sword is the murder weapon, and Bellwether was trying to blackmail her.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, there it is.
What the fuck?
I seem to recall another case where an innocent person's sword was used to frame them.
Dude, her fiery temper is rising, and now these flames are rising up her arm.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Or maybe she just has some hair trapped down there since the last haircut. They just slipped in there.
You know, I think that's way more likely.
As a prosecutor, it is not my place to decide who's guilty and who's not. I won't engage in corruption, even if it's to counter corruption from another noble house. I'm sorry.
Do you know where Miriam is right now?
Didn't you hear what I just said? You can't let her think that there's even the slightest possibility you'll indict her. She'll bring the entire wrath of House Frege down on you.
Regardless, I can't do anything for Wallace unless I know everything that happened. Frege has the last piece I need to put everything together.
Well, I suppose I don't have much of a choice, do I? Her dormitory is room 107. I imagine that she'll be there, considering that classes are suspended.
Thank you, Steelwind.
If I don't tell you, I'm sure you'll probably just find out using some other means. But please, Mr. Cuthbert, be careful. Don't worry.
Right,
We won't let her know that we have any suspicion of her. Battering ram smashes down door.
And then it's, oh my god, Miriam Frege is actually Eris. You follow the door to Miss Frege's room. The door lit inside seems a lot more ornately decorated than the other rooms. You go to knock on the door, but you don't realize that it's only partially closed. As your fist comes into contact with the wood, you accidentally push the door wide open. Nope. Alright, who's doing this voice?
Nice suspenders.
Do you want to do it, or shall I do it? What do you think?
I did the last murderer.
Excuse me? How dare you barge into my room? These insects have no respect.
Shoot her in the head now.
Sorry, I meant to knock, but... Construct, remove these hoodlums from my room! Did you do
Acknowledged.
Bellwether's voice?
I think I did. Acknowledged.
Or
Man,
the room?
even though she's dead, we'll always have her pre-recorded lines to remember us of her.
Yeah. From the corner of the room, an arcane construct stands up and starts making its way toward you. Before you can protest, it raises its fist to hit you. Oh shit! You only have enough time to raise your arms and brace yourself for the impact. Close your eyes and wait for the blow. But instead, you hear the clang of steel against steel.
Yeah.
Confused, you open your eyes and see Celeste standing between you and the construct. Her sword is drawn, and she's using it to block the construct's fist. Ugh. Upon taking a closer look at Celeste, the student stares curiously at her. Construct, stand down!
Acknowledged.
I'm terribly sorry for that. I wasn't aware that this was your servant.
Yep.
Celeste looks angry but puts away her sword without a word. I haven't noticed you around campus. Are you a new student? If she is a personal attendant, she must be important.
What?
You see an opportunity. Yes, my master just enrolled here recently.
What?
Celeste gives you a puzzled look, but you made a silent gesture back. Oh, but you make a silent gesture back. After a moment, she seems to realize what you're doing.
Yeah, I just started here. I take it you're Miriam Frager?
Yes, I'm honored that you recognize me. Dude, that's Miriam Frager, the student.
You got suspenders.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Miss...
I'm Celeste. Celeste McDonald.
She catches herself and pauses for an awkward moment.
Steelwind. I'm Celeste Steelwind.
You can't believe her. There's no way she's going to believe... Steelwind? It's a pleasure to meet another member of such an esteemed house. She must be from a branch family. Maybe I can use her.
Shoot her in the head now.
Wait, she's actually buying this?
This is a situation like in Romance of the Three Kingdoms where you find Dong Zhao has been captured, and you've got someone in one of your retainers is going, "Just kill him now! Just kill him now!" Oh, says Liu Bei, no, we must be merciful, we must be benevolent, and we must have mercy. And that causes a whole bunch of terrible shit to happen. If you see someone who's obviously bad, just remove them immediately when you have the chance.
Dude, look, that's Celeste Steelwind.
Celeste Steelwind. I just moved in, and I thought that I should introduce myself. Seeing as you're a top student in the field of conjuration. Conjugation.
Conjuration.
Yeah.
Well, there's no backing out now.
No
Dude,
way
look at that
out.
bed.
It
It's
doesn't.
an
Oh,
extravagant bed. Looks like Miriam lives pretty well here.
yeah, very black. This game loves black.
That's true, Tyrion. Dude, Tyrion's dressed to the nines. It's a dresser. It probably contains Miriam's clothes. It would probably be a bad idea to take a closer look with Miriam here.
Can I see your underwear?
It's a table for guests, but it doesn't look like it's seen much use until now.
Prepario Arcanum.
Nothing.
You claim to be a
Alright.
magical student, and yet there's no traces of magic in your room.
I was thinking the same thing. Miss Fraga, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions about... Excuse me, I don't believe anyone has permitted you to speak. Oh, here we go.
Huh?
Celeste is still smiling, but you can faintly hear her grinding her teeth together.
So, we heard about what happened to Professor Bellwether? Like, she got fucking killed? Can't believe it.
Yes, it's quite tragic what happened to her. She has always been an acquaintance of House Frege. She appears to be more receptive to Celeste. It might be better to let her take the lead on the questioning. What do you think about this?
We heard that you saw her on the day of the murder. Could you tell us more about what happened?
Oh, you heard about that from your relative, did you? If you don't mind me asking, why are you so interested? She's not like Arya, is she?
You know, I'm just curious is all. You know how uneventful life can be sometimes. Being a noble and all.
Alright, tone it down. Oh, is that all? I was wondering... Oh, I was worried you were going to go down the same path as that poor, confused Arya. What does she mean by that? But I'm in the middle of a study break anyways. I suppose I have some time to sate your curiosity. Construct, please prepare us some tea. Use that lotus tea we imported from the Eastern Kingdoms. She could be useful if I can win her favor.
Acknowledged.
Oh shit.
Lotus tea? Oh, that's my favorite. You have lotus juice?
You feel like you're slowly losing control of the situation.
I heard that you saw the professor on the day of the murder. Where did this happen?
I was in the hallways when I saw her coming out of the headmaster's office. She was heading towards the library.
Do you remember what time this happened?
I'm not really sure, honestly. It's a little embarrassing, but I have a bad habit of getting too absorbed in my work. Sometimes I'll let entire hours pass by without noticing. Do you have a rough idea, at least? I think it was in the morning. She thinks it was in the morning.
Anyways, did anything seem off about her? Was she, like, shambling?
No, it was a short encounter.
Fear. We have sensed fear in her.
I merely greeted her, and she responded in kind.
I smell it on you.
At least that's what should have happened. I thought just now, what does it mean? You slowly glance at Celeste and catch her attention. In small motions, you shake your head to indicate that Miriam is holding something back.
Were you and the professor really on good terms? I heard she was pretty mean towards the other students, but you also seem like a huge bitch as well, so maybe you'd get on.
Towards the riff-raff, maybe, but not to students like us.
Oh yeah, you are like two bitches in a pod.
She was a great ally to House Frege. Or at least she used to be. That's why we were planning on appointing her as the new headmaster.
Wait, what did you just say? Did you just say that your family was going to appoint Bellwether as the new headmaster?
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't know. House Frege holds several seats on the Academy's board. We were making plans to have her replace that lout Redmond. You're going to sack the headmaster?
Did Headmaster Redmond know about this?
Oh, of course not. This was part of a large-scale plan. Along with Redmond, we were also going to replace all of the staff members with arcane constructs. We had to keep everything under wraps, or else the help would have left prematurely. And where would that leave us? But Jan supposedly overheard Bellwether talking about the constructs. Did Bellwether prematurely reveal the plan? Or was Jan lying about how he found out? But alas, with Bellwether gone, we'll have to delay our plans.
Bellwether's plan. House Frege was planning to fire Headmaster Theodore Redmond and replace him with Catherine Bellwether. They were also planning to fire all of the Academy staff and replace them with arcane constructs. This was supposed to be kept a secret, but according to Jan, Bellwether revealed this plan to the headmaster during a meeting a few weeks ago. So, we heard that Arya took your rapier as evidence for the case.
Can you believe her? She still won't give it back to me. My father will have my head if I can't get it back soon.
How did it even become a part of the investigation anyways?
I don't know. Arya won't tell me anything. I swear if that necromancer was the one who stole it, I'll execute him myself.
So someone did steal it from you?
Yes, from right out of my room.
When did this happen?
About a few weeks ago, I noticed when I came back from one of my classes, someone removed the rapier from its display case in my room. How did they get into your room in the first place?
You think someone used magic to teleport past the door?
Please, I'm a master of conjuration magic. If someone attempted that, my enchantments would have shunted them out. This means the thief came through one of the doors or windows. I bet it was that necromancer! I'm sure a street child like him just knows how to pick a lock.
That's true, they are all like the same like that. Filthy little urchins. Step on
Street
them.
rat!
Turn them into stains under your boots. Jasmine being like, Aladdin, I love you for who you are. And then Aladdin takes Jasmine back to where he lives. Jasmine like, damn, can you be Prince Ali again? Oh, you wish the genie freedom, you fucking idiot.
Dude doesn't even have 4 full walls.
He's only got 3. He doesn't even have a 4th wall to break. I've heard that you're one of the Academy's top students. Your grades must be amazing.
Of course. As an inheritor of House Frege, my grades are impeccable. It feels good to have my greatness recognized. That's strange. You don't see anything contradictory through the eye this time. You can gesture towards Celeste to continue pressing her.
Oh, what kind of magic do you study here?
You must be joking. I study magic from the School of Conjuration. I literally just told you this. Just like most members of my house.
School of Conjuration. That's a type of magic that specializes in spatial manipulation and teleportation, right?
Yes, I consider myself quite the expert in that
No,
field.
that's abjurement, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. It's nice to work with someone of my caliber. Why, the Crown
Conjuration
Prince
is
himself
unique
has asked
stuff.
for my assistance in a research study.
You conjure things.
Yeah. Again, you don't see any thoughts that contradict what she's saying. Does that mean she's not lying? If she's smart enough to get the Crown Prince's attention, why would she be cheating?
I don't know, maybe it's because of the way you look. Damn, you got a lot to say. You said something about my wayward son. Carry on. Before. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na. Were you talking about Arya?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry if I offended you. But I'm sure it must pain you to see the way she's been acting lately.
Yeah, it's been extremely hard.
Hang in there, Celeste. Did you know that she even interrogated me about the murder yesterday?
Damn, I'd kill her.
Can you believe it? A steel wind running around a crime scene like a common knight. Why, if I
Common
tried something like
knight?
that, my father would disown me.
You don't want to be a knight? What's wrong with you?
Does the nobility not approve of Steel and becoming a prosecutor? I always thought that it is strange. What is motivating her to do this? Honestly, she probably thinks she could do anything just because of her betrothed. Aster deserves better. Celeste's eyes perk up upon hearing this. You'd be lying if you weren't also curious about who this Aster is. But you shoot her a stern look that tells her to stay focused. Can't risk blowing your cover for some gossip.
Oh, Damn women, am I right? They start yapping at each other. You got 6 dialogue options. Ugh. You have an arcane construct in your room. I thought they only had them in the library and the locker room.
This construct was a gift from House Von Sanctus. I have to say, they're quite convenient to have around.
They look really cool. Maybe I should get one.
You should. A construct would be far more useful than this attendant of yours.
Angry?
Unfortunately, there are still some issues with their intelligence.
Their intelligence?
There are issues when you give them complex commands. It might be easier to show you. Miriam turns to the construct and begins gesturing towards it. Construct, please retrieve my textbooks and bring them here. Then cast Steelwind Strike at this location. After that, retrieve some plates and set them out at this table.
Acknowledged.
Wh-
What? What?
The construct stands up and retrieves Miriam's textbooks from one of the shelves in the room. It brings
It's
them to the
doing
table you're
things!
sitting at, just like she ordered. But
What
then, it suddenly stops moving.
Just did things. Wait, what happened?
The construct obviously can't cast Steelwind Strike, so my second command was impossible to carry out. But you notice something else?
It ignored your third command too.
Correct. My third command was possible to carry out.
So why did it ignore that command?
Constructs execute a series of commands in the order that they are given. But let's say one of those tasks is impossible to complete.
Is this very important information that's going to be relevant to the case?
When the construct gets to that task, it will deem the entire series impossible to complete.
Wow, that's actually really, that's really not great. Even a sim knows that when when a task is impossible, it doesn't just clear the queue, it just goes to the next one.
Dude, that's the worst. Sometimes the Sims, I've had Sims glitch where like they'll get stuck on like keep trying to do one impossible task and it never goes away. And I'm like, what the fuck has this one dude been doing? And I look, he's just been sitting in one room like all day.
He's brooding.
As a result, it will stop executing the series altogether.
So if a task in a series of commands is impossible, then that command will interrupt the sequence of commands.
Exactly.
Constructs logic limitation. Arcane constructs process tasks in the order that they are given. If a construct is ordered to complete tasks A, B, and C, it will process each of those tasks individually. If task B is impossible, the construct won't realize this until it reaches task B. When it reaches task B, it will deem the entire series of commands as impossible and stop what it's doing without even attempting to complete task C. Don't worry, there will be no cross-examinations where this comes up. This incredibly niche information that she just decided to share with you for no reason.
Oh, that's me. Lady Steelwind, I'm afraid we must leave now if you want to make our next engagement.
It seems that you've given me the petard by which I will hoist you with. Isn't that handy? Oh, right. Let's go, servant.
Oh, leaving already? It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, sure. I'd say you around.
You make your way back to the foyer with Celeste. With all the time you've spent, you only have a brief amount of time before night falls.
Are you sure you don't want to talk to her more? We were getting a lot out of her.
We already got a lot of useful information out of her. The more time we spend with her, the more likely she is to see through our ruse.
Right.
So, why Steelwind?
I don't know, I panicked. Arya's like the only noble I know, other than the guy that we had executed. Yeah, him.
What about Piers?
I'm not using that creep's name.
Well, hopefully Steelwind doesn't mind us borrowing her name.
And we got a statement on what she saw that day.
There's also what she said about the rapier.
I bet she was lying when she said it was stolen.
So sick.
She was probably
I
trying
can't
to
believe I missed
establish
this
an
earlier.
alibi.
I hope you had a great one, dude. I'm not so sure.
Why do you say that?
Gosh, was the difficulty jump that big? Doesn't it feel, I don't know, too obvious? If she was lying about the rapier being stolen, that would imply that she planned all this in advance. If she had to choose a murder weapon, why would she choose something that literally has her name on it? I'd understand the murder was a spur-of-the-moment decision. She might have just used something nearby in this case. But if this was a premeditated murder committed by Miriam, that rapier would be the last she would choose.
I guess that makes sense.
There's also the evidence of academic dishonesty. Some match up with what we heard from Miriam.
You mean all that stuff about working with the Crown Prince? She was probably just making things up to look good in front of me.
I have insight when it comes to things like this. Under normal circumstances, I can usually tell when someone is lying. And a lie as grandiose as that would be something that I would definitely see through. People can subconsciously shield themselves from the eye of Horus, even if they don't know about it. But when they do that, you usually can't see any thoughts from them. You also saw that she was lying about her encounter with Bellwether. You would have seen dissonant thoughts if she was lying about her grades. Well, oh, goddammit.
I guess I'll trust your insight. But what does that mean?
I don't know. Even with everything we found, I'm still not sure who the real culprit is. At the very least, I think we should still try to put Miriam onto the stand. And Ari's just like, this is the one thing we didn't want to happen! If she testifies in court, I might be able to find something I can use.
Wouldn't you know it?
But that's a big maybe.
Oh, it's definitely a maybe.
If you don't play your cards right, you might spook the Fregas enough for them to pay off the judge.
Oh, that's my favorite board game. Don't spook the Fregas. We're definitely not going to call her up on the stand, so it's not. None of this will matter. This was all just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Either way, it's getting late. We'll probably have to turn in soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just hope you did enough to acquit Wallace.
I hope they did enough to equip me. I'm tired of pissing in this hole. The Walking Dead. Honey, I'm tired.
You wanna call it there for now?
I'm sorry, I'm sleepy.
I think that's fair. We've been going for a bit. Well, yeah, I guess we'll be wrapping up there for today then, chat. I hope everyone's been having fun. This game is... I really like this game. It's
I have
a lot
no
of fun.
stamina.
Well, thank you for joining me, honey, and thank you for tuning in, everyone.
I like joining in.
This is going to be it for tonight. I hope you all have a lovely night. I'll be back tomorrow with the Final Fantasy RPG. And then Monday, I'm doing Bucky O'Hare games. Be there!
Captain
Why not?
Bucky O'Hare, he does the thing and shoots a gun.
Yeah, that's... Dude, I love that theme. It's so good. Captain Bucky O'Hare. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, I hope you all have a lovely night, and I'll see you next time. Bye!